Hi again, everybody. The road to state not only continues, but that road to state, well, that end prize is getting closer and closer as the John Tyler Lions now prepare for a state semifinal game coming up on Friday night at Midlothian against Denton Guyer. The Lions, of course, knocked off Frisco Centennial 38-24 this past Friday in a very good football game that was played at Lions Stadium in Ennis. And Coach Ricklan Holmes is with us. Start to feel it now?
Been feeling it since day one.
It's day one.
Nothing's changed. Now we're just getting closer and closer to getting to that third goal that we want to accomplish.
Well, and these games continue to get, well, that was just a very good football game Friday night. It was an entertaining game, wasn't it?
It was. You know, two great teams going against each other to move on to the fifth round, and just so happened we came out on top.
Let's talk a little bit about, before we see the video, and we'll obviously see some video here in just a bit. They challenged you early on, but you got off to a better start in this game than you did a week ago against Frisco.
Yes, most definitely. That was something that we focused on during practice all week long, was making sure that we come out and doing the things necessary to get the game under control early so that they would have to try to struggle to come back, and that's what ended up happening last Friday.
Let's talk about injuries. We won't belabor it, but they were a factor. Tell me a little bit about what shook out. There were three significant kids that left the field banged up, maybe not injured significantly. I don't know. You tell me.
Well, actually, we had four.
Okay.
Greg left with a bruised ankle, and he'll be fine.
Okay.
He had a knee injury out of Starling. He'll be fine. X-rays came back negative.
So he'll play?
Yeah, to play.
All right, good.
Tarazes came out with a head injury. He'll be back. Matter of fact, he started his progression stage Saturday.
Okay.
So he'll be back Friday. Actually, be back for Wednesday's practice.
Was it a concussion or just a
mild concussion?
Mild concussion. Okay.
And then you had Richard Gibson that had a dislocated thumb. I mean, it was a clean dislocation. They put it back in place. He's going to play with a cast, kind of like he did last year. He played in the cast last year during the playoffs, so he's back to that same form.
Might not be able to intercept a pass again this week, though.
Well, he can catch it with one hand. He has some pretty big hands, so I believe he can catch the ball with one hand.
But and that Lady Luck smiles on you then, because I was worried about Starling when he left the field. Always worried about Greg. Because he actually limped back out on the field to hold for a field goal late in the ballgame.
Yes, he did.
So I knew he was okay, I guess.
Yeah, well, he knew he was okay. It's one of them deals where I think, the first initial shock of pain is what, shocked him the most. But then once that pain subsides and you understand it's not a major injury, then he's able to get back and do what he needs to do. And we were broadcasting in the press box, and you guys had the home side. The crowd got very quiet. Yeah, it's kind of like when Johnny Manziel got injured.
That's right.
Kind of like holds their breath, trying to wait to see.
I was holding my breath. It was hard for me to talk,
Yeah. But I knew when I walked out on the field and I seen his face, I knew that he was okay. I know he's okay.
So that's great. Before we see the video again, you won 38-24. Analyze how the offense played.
Offense played just like they need to play. They was able to control the clock with the running game. They was able to score in the air with the passing. They was able to also score on the ground. So just going out there doing exactly what we need to do to take care of a football game offensively, combined with a stout defense that we have been having for the past several weeks. That puts us in the position that we're in now.
I thought one of the key moments of the game happened, in your first possession of the third quarter. Game's tied at 17. You get the ball, and one of their guys intercepts a pass. That's only the second interception all year by Greg. Defense, though, comes right back and holds them.
Unless
and they kicked a field goal.
Yes.
But they didn't punch it in and didn't gain a whole lot of momentum out of that.
And that just shows, what our defense is capable of. They're capable of being the complement of a great offense. The complement of a great offense has to be a great defense. Mm-hmm. And, offensive win games, but defense win championships. And with the defense that we have right now, that's why we're going where we're going.
3 interceptions in that ball game, too. I mean, so your guys were not only able to, when they needed to, stop them, but they also created opportunities for you.
Yes, they did, and they've been doing that all year long.
Yeah.
It just wasn't Friday. It's been what they've been doing. They're monsters when it comes to turning over the ball and giving our offense good field position and putting the ball back in their hand. And we're at week 15 now, and they continue to do it.
Trey Johnson's pick in the fourth quarter of that ball game.
Yes.
Great play.
Great play. It was one of those deals where you tell the DB to go up and you tell him to go fight for the ball.
Yeah.
And let him know that, when the ball is in the air, it's just rightfully his. It is the wide receiver that they're throwing it to, and he basically just went up and took it out that guy's hand and came down with it.
Special teams, you had a field goal block, but you also kicked one.
Yes.
And had some good punts. I mean, good coverage. Just your overall, and then sometimes that part of the game gets overlooked. But this time of the year, you got to have those guys because you can get beat. Special teams can get you beat in a game like this.
They can get you beat. And, with the block field goal that we had, that was just a minor adjustment by the alignment, which we corrected that after that it happened. We had a new guy that was in there doing that to take the place of Richard because at that time Richard was hurt.
Deep snapper?
Yeah. Well, no, not a deep snapper. It was a guy that was in a different position.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
So, our deep snapper is Tyus Biles, and he does a great job doing that. So.
Yeah, Tyus could probably, he's very good at it too, isn't he?
He's very good at deep snapping. He's just as good at deep snapping as he is lining up at defensive end and playing quarterback, throwing touchdown passes. So.
He could help you coach this team too, couldn't he?
He does it sometimes. He does it sometimes on the field. Tyus is a student of the game.
Yeah.
He understands exactly what we be doing on offense, special teams, and defense side of the ball. And like I say, he's a special individual.
I think the kid's just had an amazing season. I just marvel at him every week. And on top of everything else, he threw a touchdown pass after Ward went out at a key moment in the game on Friday night, a perfectly thrown fade to Fred Ross.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of at some point, don't you just throw your hands up and say, kid, just heck of a deal.
Hey, just go out there and play football.
Yeah.
And he does exactly what he's taught to do, what he practices to do. And that lets you know, that's the reason why he's a backup quarterback.
Good grief. I mean, he has just amazed me this year. And I can't imagine, to me, and I think you still got to go out and win this whole ball of wax. But assuming you do, I think he's the 4A statewide player of the year.
He's close. I
mean, I can't imagine anybody's player in Texas being more valuable to a team than Tyus Bowser.
I can't either. Just being in multiple positions on the field and being as dominant and as effective as he is at those positions, you got it. Hands down.
If there was a Texas high school Heisman, now maybe they're like everybody else. They want to give it to an offensive guy too. I don't know, but anyway, he'd get my vote. I
think he'd get a lot of people's votes. All
right, talk a little bit about, and we'll talk more specifically about Denton Guyer. They're very good. They're a recently reigning state champion. They've won a lot.
Yeah, and they're a good football program. It's the reason why they're always in the talk of making a state run every year. They're very disciplined. They have some good athletes, and in past years they had a better defense than they have now. But the offense is kind of taking over the way of not having that defense that they've had in the past, and they're doing a good job right now.
And a veteran coach. And John Walsh, who's kind of been there, done that. So, they've got a lot going for them this week, don't they?
They do. And, the first two games that they lost early. One was against Cedar Hill, and that was against Colleyville Heritage, I believe.
Pretty good teams.
And both of those are great 5A football teams. Matter of fact, I think Cedar Hill is still in the playoffs. Yeah. So, those losses right there, they let you know what kind of team they are.
All right, we're getting down to the point now where, everybody's starting to sense what might happen here if we're, next Monday when we tape the show, what we might be talking about. Do you have to?
What you're going to be talking about.
What you're going to be talking about. There you go. Is that confidence? You all year long, that's been your attitude, right? Not if, but when.
But when. And that's the attitude of this football team this year. They've taken it full blast now, and they understand that, this stuff that they've been hearing Coach Holmes say, I didn't say that just because, I'm cocky or I'm arrogant or anything like that. I'm saying it because I know the kids that I'm coaching right now. I know the staff that's been put together. I know exactly what this team is capable of doing. And week in and week out, they've been proving what I know and believe on the football field.
Do you mind them looking ahead a little bit? Do you encourage that? Can that be a motivating tool? Because the old adage is never look ahead.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, could it play in your favor for you to go into that locker room Friday night before the game and said, boys, I don't want to talk about it next week, but here's what the carrots out there.
It's one of those deals where, I tell them all the time, we want to play in a state championship game. We're going to play in a state championship game. But you got to make sure you take care of each game one game at a time. So it's kind of like you're not looking ahead, but you notice what's in front of you.
Right.
Is what it is. And that's the approach we've been going at all year long.
You remember the movie Hoosiers? You ever see that movie?
Yes, the basketball movie.
Yeah, where Gene Hackman goes in before the semifinal game. He goes in the locker room and he says, I don't want to even bring it up, but no team this school this small has ever played in the state championship game. You know, and he kind of actually throws that little carrot out there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all sorts of ways that coaches can go in and motivate players, right? I mean, but do the guys even need motivating at this point?
You know, everybody needs motivation. You know, every morning I wake up, I need some kind of motivation. And my motivation to make sure I step in that office and get those guys prepared to win a football game on Friday. These kids right here, their motivation is their destiny. I tell them every day their destiny is in their hand. What they're going to make of it is how they practice and what they do to prepare for that game coming up. And so far, they've been putting in the work. They've been giving the effort. They've been showing the dedication to get that done.
All right, let's roll the tape out. Enough of this. Let's see some of the video from the, in case you didn't get to go, or if you did, you want to see some of the plays again. The Lions beat Frisco Centennial on Friday night. JT, you were the visitor, so you're in those white uniforms, and here you are.
We're the home team.
No, you're the home. That's right, you're
in white.
But you're the home team, and you're in white. That's first drive of the game.
First drive of the game. You know, you get the ball swung out there to Darren Flowers real quick, and he just makes plays. He's one of those guys that, you know, he's quietly does great things to keep this offense moving.
And had an unbelievable game against Frisco the week before.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
On the move here, and here's the touchdown.
Yeah, little nice, little easy touchdown pass to Fred Ross once again. You know, it's one of them deals, you know, that cornerback that Frisco Centennial had was, you know, he's a phenomenal athlete, but, you know, let's look at the stats. You know, he's 5'9", 170. Fred is 6'2", 190. You know, at some point in time, athletic ability is going to take over.
Now great effort up front.
Yes, and this is the defense doing what the defense needs to do. Getting back there and making plays happen.
Who was that? Was that Miller?
Miller and DeQuante.
And DeQuante Woods, okay. Screen pass.
Just showing the athletic ability, getting the ball in the playmaker's hands.
That's DeQuante again, isn't it?
And I think this is Fred right
Fred,
here.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, this is Fred.
Fred had 13 catches on Friday night. It's a big ball game.
Yeah.
And 3 touchdowns.
Big play right here to Darren Flowers. As you see, he makes a living across the middle of the field. He's not scared of contact, and that's because of his defensive mentality. You know, he's always giving the contact, and he knows how to receive the contact.
It's a man's game between the hash marks,
That's
isn't it?
it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, back on offense. How about this beauty right here?
Yeah, this is just Fred taking advantage of, you know, a secondary coverage bust. He's an inside receiver here, and, you know, he basically, you know, gave him a little out move, went up the middle of the field, and there he was by himself.
Greg's eyes light up on plays like that, don't they? He knew what he had.
All you got to do is just throw the ball.
Yeah, oh yeah. All right, back on defense. It's one of the picks here, I believe.
And this is Richard Gibson. You know.
Before he broke the thumb, right?
Before he did his thumb. This is just a great read on the ball, great drop by Rich. You know, this shows everybody why he's a true Mike backer, middle backer. You know, this is what you want your Mike backer to do. You want them to roam the middle of the field. You want them to stuff and plug holes as needed. And he's been doing that all year long.
Heck, I thought he was going to score there for a minute.
Yeah.
That was a big moment in the game, too. Took some of their momentum away.
Take a lot of gas out of that momentum.
Now watch this. This is the moment right here where I thought you had it kind of, I felt like, okay, then we're going to see JT play again next week.
And he just made sure he made it to the end zone. You know, this just shows the athletic ability of Greg, you know, being able to make things happen when everything else around breaks down.
Now you see the moves here. I'd like to say broke tackles, but nobody ever touched him until right at the end. So he didn't have to break tackles. He was just that elusive. Now you're knocking at the door.
And this is Mr. Tyus Biles in the game now.
Oh, this is the play that ties. Okay. Greg's out. He got banged up. What's his fade pass to Ross? Top of the screen.
Toss up. And that's on the TCU commit corner right there.
Mm-hmm. Just a grab is just a great pass and catch, though.
Great pass and great catch. You know, you got to stay in coverage the whole time. That's something we take on our secondary also. It seemed like he was playing right here, and then he kind of gave up on the play at the last minute, and Fred kept going.
That's a tough throw, too. That fade like that's a tough throw, isn't it?
It is.
Now, this is maybe the play of the – might have been the play of the year. I mean, it's one of the best ones. That's Trey Johnson.
Yeah. And I'm not quite sure why they blew the ball dead. You know, I still hadn't understood that because he caught the ball standing up. He never hit the ground.
Did he step out of bounds?
He never stepped out of bounds.
Okay.
So
he was about to go for 108 the other way, wasn't he?
Getting ready to take it back.
Because they had given up on the play, too.
Yeah,
so
everybody had stopped except for him.
Yeah. That's still a great play, though. And congratulations to senior Trayvon Johnson. He's had a really good year.
He has a very good year this year. Mr. Quante making some moves and getting the tough yardage. Getting that much-needed first down to keep the ball moving and the clock rolling. And this is something that we wasn't able to do in the past, is get the game under control and be able to run the ball as needed, you know, to get those tough yardage and use the back like we've been using this year.
This is one of the picks. This is near the end of the game.
And this is going to be Andrew Clark getting his interception.
And then a face mask.
Yeah.
Right there. So you got the ball at the 10-yard line. Now here you'll see it again. Andrew's one of those quiet players that just does his job out there, right?
He does.
Good to see him get some. And here's a field goal. This will be the final points of the ball game from Noe Diaz, or from Benitez, I believe.
Benitez,
right?
yes, Porfirio.
Pretty clean game all the way around. Just good hard-hitting playoff football, wasn't it?
That's it. That's where you go into the fourth round and take care of business. Make sure you go in there and do everything that you need to do on all three phases of the football game. And at the end of the game, when they say 0-0, man, make sure you have one more point than they do.
Let's a shout out for the fans. You know, from where I was sitting in the press box looking down, didn't look like there were too many empty seats on the home side of the field.
It wasn't. You know, as we get deeper and deeper in the playoff, our fans are going to get stronger and stronger, and they're going to start traveling more and more. And that comes to, you know, them understanding, you know, the goal that we have at hand, and everybody wants to be a part of it.
Just the fun of being in these. This thing started out in Garland, then you had the home game at Bro Stadium, and then the road trip to Allen, and then to Ennis. And this week you're going to Midlothian.
Going to Midlothian.
Just that something new every week, and just that fresh approach to getting to do stuff maybe you've never done before makes it kind of special.
Yeah, but at the same time, you want to do something you've never done before, but then all of a sudden you kind of revert back to where your success happened.
Yeah.
And in 2008, we played a playoff game in Midlothian, Texas. We were the visiting team. And
I was there.
We won that game. And that was a big statement, big win for the program.
I think it was the first playoff win in 9 years.
And it got the program moving and going in the right direction. And I tell people all the time, yes, it's a smaller stadium than what we have been playing in, but I don't do anything on accident.
Well, did you win that flip to get Midlothian?
It was one of the flips that, yes, we did win, and it was one of the stadiums that I wanted to pick, either that one or the Waco Stadium, and I decided to go with the Midlothian.
Yeah, and it's a very nice facility. Again, I don't remember how big it was, but I remember it being very nice.
It's very nice. It's very nice. It's an 8,000 capacity stadium. It's probably going to be a standing room only.
I would imagine it.
So I invite all you fans to make sure y'all get there on time.
Get there early. Yeah, don't show up fashionably late, right?
Yeah, don't be fashionably late.
Yeah, JT fans are pretty. I mean, your fans come early. That's what I've noticed. A lot of them. Some of them have to work, and it's all they can do to get there on time. I mean, you have to work, but a lot of them get there early, and I would recommend that. I do remember it being a very nice facility. As you make plans now for the rest of what have you been told about next week in Cowboy Stadium in Arlington, and just some of the logistics that you'll have to?
The main thing I know is it's a Saturday game at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
My plans to get the guys ready and prepared to play there is something that I've been working on since the beginning of the season, and I have it pretty much wrapped up and tied down the way that I want it to go. I've been working closely with Coach Casper over at the athletic office, just getting everything prepared and make sure that, you know, it's a smooth transition, not only just for me but for the team.
Would you spend the night before there?
Well, with the plans that we have right now, no, we wouldn't be spending the night, because that was the main reason why I wanted to always play on Friday. And I never wanted to play on Saturday, because I wanted that extra day going into that Saturday game to keep our kids in a normal routine, to keep them in their own climate, and just make it as a regular game as possible.
What have you learned about these playoffs so far, being first time through as a head coach? I mean, what are some of the things that you've learned about all this?
I learned one thing: stick to your guns. Don't change what you want to do because it doesn't agree with everybody else. You know, I had a plan coming into this season that I always wanted to play on Friday until I had to play on Saturday, because I knew about that extra day. And I've been sticking to them guns all the way through. I probably one of the coaches that's been in this whole playoff deal that has played Friday all the way until the last game. And that's just something that I've learned, and I've learned that from several coaches I've either played for, played or coached under, is stick to your guns. Whatever your plan is, that's your plan of action.
So have you had to flip for Friday, Saturday several times, or have you had to, or have they been, the other coaches been pretty much in agreement, okay,
well, all the way up until this game, all the other coaches have been pretty much agreeable on playing on Friday.
But this guy just played on a Saturday.
Yeah, he just played on a Saturday.
So he wanted to play Saturday.
He wanted to play on a Friday, so we had to flip for that, and he ended up losing.
So you had to flip for Friday or Saturday, right?
Yes.
And you won that flip.
And I won that flip.
Lady Luck was on your side this time, right?
Lady Luck been on my side pretty much all year long.
All right, so how many flips did you have to win this week? Because people don't realize, I mean, you flipped for, first you had to flip for, I mean, how many coin flips did you have to decide for Midlothian this week?
4. 4 flips that you have to go with.
Did you win them all?
I didn't win all of them.
All right, so tell me what the flips were.
You got to flip for Friday, Saturday.
Was that the first flip?
Yes, first flip.
And you won that?
Yes. And then you had to flip for referees.
Okay.
And then you had
Did
to
you win
flip.
that or lose it?
I lost that one,
right.
But I didn't mind that because the other choice was a choice that I already had on my plate.
Okay.
So I kind of was a win-win situation.
Where are the
either
officials
way.
coming from?
Abilene, Texas. Abilene
okay.
chapter.
All right, cool. Okay.
And I know those officials. I got a great report for those guys from the Houston chapter that we've been using for the past time. So you got Friday, Saturday officials. You got home and away visitors, and then you got the site.
Have to flip for home visitor?
Yeah, we had to flip for home and visitor.
Did you lose that, or did you pick visitor?
No, I lost that.
Okay, so you're the visitor.
Which I kind of wanted to lose it because
you can wear the white jerseys again, then, right? Okay.
Wear the white jerseys.
Okay, fair enough. All right. But you did win the flip for Midlothian, then, right?
Yes, we won that one.
What was his stadium choice?
I really forgot what his stadium choice was because I wasn't.
But would it have been closer to him?
Yeah, it would have been closer to him. I think it was more in the Metroplex area than it was going through the Metroplex.
Oh, okay,
area.
all right.
So he has to travel this time.
Okay, see, but you won the 2 that you wanted to win.
I won the main 2 that really counted, and then like the last 2, like I said, I lost. It really don't affect me that much because I don't mind wearing away jerseys or blue jerseys, and neither does the kids.
Yeah.
And then with the officials that we had on the plate to choose from, I've always used the Houston officials, but I had great report from the Abilene officials, so either way.
I got to ask you, why do you like the white jersey so much?
Well,
as opposed to the blue, because you probably caught a little flack about that, hadn't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you come into our field house and you look directly to the left before you go down the hallway, that picture that's on the wall of the 94 state championship. What color jersey did they have?
They were in white. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Fair enough. Okay. I remember watching that game. I'd forgotten whether you guys were in white or blue that day. That 94 game against Austin Westlake, as a matter of fact.
That's right.
Okay, all right. That answer. See, I've been meaning to ask you that. I've been forgetting about that. So that's why.
That's why I don't mind wearing white.
All right. By the way, do you know about next week? Would you get to wear the white ones in the state game?
Don't know yet.
Would you flip for that home? Who's gets to wear the jersey?
I believe that we're going to have to flip for it.
You know where you're going to play.
Yeah, everybody know you're going to play.
And the time and all that stuff.
Now you just got to see who's going to be on the home side, who's going to be on the visitor side. But either way, it doesn't matter.
Chances are, though, it won't matter if you're wearing the white jerseys because most of these schools prefer their dark unis anyway.
Yeah.
Same thing the Cowboys run into. They've been able to wear their white jerseys on the road for years. Because most teams want to wear their dark jerseys, right?
Want to wear their dark jerseys.
Right, okay. Have you? Do the coaches at this point? You're facing a lot of veteran coaches. Do they try to treat you like a rookie head coach? Son?
I think they have, until they finally meet me face to face, or they get me on the telephone, and then they understand that I know the rules just like they do.
Okay.
So that kind of lasts for about that long.
Yeah.
And they understand that I got a lot of people that are behind me that got a lot more experience probably than they do.
Who do you call when you have a question about this stuff?
Coach Wilson and Coach King.
John King from Longview.
Yeah.
Okay, and Allen, of course, Allen Wilson.
And those two right there, they've been helping me out a lot this season, along with Coach Rush. He's always been there as a supportive part of going through this process. So those main three right there, them are the three guys that I go to.
All right, there. Guyer has a very good football team. They're 12-2. You're 13-1. Their quarterback, Gerard Hurd, is a junior,
Texas,
and already verbally committed to the University of Texas. Is he the straw that serves the drink for those guys?
He is. He's the engine that runs that Corvette.
Okay.
And the better he plays, the better the team plays. And they feed off of him, and very well so. He's a very gifted athlete. He's 6'2", about 190 pounds, and he moves great. He's not a great passer, but he does make some good throws when it comes to it, because he has a 6'4" receiver that he can throw to.
All right, he's going to Arizona State.
He's going to Arizona State.
Wouldn't trade him for your guy, though, would you?
No, I wouldn't trade them for none of my guys.
I know. Your guy's pretty good. Greg Ward's pretty dead-gum good. I wouldn't trade him for anybody in Texas.
If Greg was 6'2" right now and he was 190 pounds, every school in America would be here wanting him to play quarterback. But because he's 5'11", and he's 170 pounds, they question what he can do. Well, 14 games later, you can see what he can do.
Right.
And this is not just this year. We're talking about last year, what he did. So, it goes back to that deal, do you want a guy that looks the part, or you want a guy that plays the part?
Well, he's not just an athlete playing quarterback. He's a quarterback.
He's a quarterback. And with the guy that's at Denton Guyer, I would label him that. I think he's an athlete that's playing quarterback. I don't really think he's a legitimate quarterback, because he doesn't have the intangibles that you see at a real quarterback. Like the Johnny Manziel, the guys that they're able to make those key reads, that's able to make those great throws, stuff like that. And quickly. I don't see him as that, but like I say, he's a very gifted athlete.
And I noticed they have a fullback that they play with. Do they have a more traditional look?
They do have a fullback they throw in the game every once in a while, but they have a pretty talented tailback, and he's a little guy, he's very shifty. Kind of reminds me of the tailback that Frisco Centennial had in the game late, number 20. And, that type of kid right there is one of the guys that kind of hides behind their big lineman and shoots out and makes things happen. So,
just what do you expect Friday night?
I expect us to win. I expect it to be a good football game. I expect it to be a repeat of the 7-on-7 tournament that we played in Cedar Hill.
So you played these guys in Cedar Hill already?
Yes, we did.
Oh, really? How'd you do? I'd forgotten about that. How'd you do against them that day?
We done very well against them. We ended up winning the whole tournament, to be a matter of fact. And they was the last team that we had to beat before we went to the championship.
I had forgotten about that. So you beat Guyer to win the Cedar Hill tournament.
Yes, sir.
7-on-7.
Most definitely.
Friday's a little different. I mean, with pads on, a little different. But
that's the only difference. You got pads on, now you got the big linemen out there. So they think that their grand equalizer to our skill positions is their linemen.
Okay. So the obvious now is to prove them wrong, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Coach, good luck.
Appreciate it.
All right, the state semifinal game, and it should be a good one, is at Midlothian Stadium on Friday night, 7:30. And like the coach said, get there early as possible, because the place is going to be packed. The carrot dangling out there, of course, is a trip to the state championship game at high noon on December 22nd. But first things first, JT was here last year, did not get past this round. Now they want to get past the state semis and get to the state title game coming up next week. The road to state will continue next Monday as we get ready for a state championship game. For Coach Holmes, I'm Bill Coase. Thanks for joining us.